a very clean 560 SEL. The air conditioning on this one, of course, not cooling very good. It has been retrofitted over before. They immaculately cleaned and sterilized and steam cleaned and degreased this engine compartment so good I cannot find any visual traces. If I want to look for a visual trace, they've all been erased. I always hate this. I mean, it's nice that they clean them, but I wish I would get to them when they're dirty so I could look for visual traces, you know, like where oil buildup around. It would save me a lot of time in diagnosis. This way, when it's this clean and it's just been cleaned, I have to go over it with a fine-tooth comb with my refrigerant leak detector, trying to find where the leak is, instead of relying on the UV dye, because they usually did this particular place when they clean. They do such a good job. They even remove my UV dye, which usually they don't. But this one does an extra good job of cleaning. Now, usually I say don't use pressures to determine whether something is hot or full or empty. But this one is so low, so obvious. It's an old school fixed speed compressor, so you can do this pretty good using pressures and touching. I'm feeling that it's really no cooling action going here on the return right here. If I get my fingers and I can go down to that line, not this line, not that line, but that line right there, that's the high pressure discharge. Now when I could get under here with my hands and I could grab that with my fingers, it's hot. Now this is one of those cars when you're low on refrigerant, sometimes the pressure can go up. Compressor is starving for oil, high heat of friction, and we have a higher compression ratio because our low side went so low. Actually, we're back up to 11. That's not too high, but you actually generate more heat, and you get an overheating compressor. But another thing, you go down, this is when a sight glass does work, when you really are this low. Let's see if I can zero in on the sight glass. Where are we at? Come on, get down there, zero in. Right. Damn, I can't zero in. I'm sorry, guys. My focus does not want to focus. A little bit, you can see it trying to focus down there, and you can see all the bubbles. It's not even bubbles, it's basically almost empty. There we go. It likes that, there you go. Okay, so you see that sight glass? This is one of the few times when you see those pressures, you have no cooling back. I can tell you that this system is low, and most likely it's not due to a restricted expansion valve or an expansion valve stuck in the restrictive position where the expansion valve is clamping off the restriction and it's actually trying to hold back the refrigerant. It's stuck in that position. I'm pretty sure I can tell you that this particular one is not having that issue. This one is just low on charge, but I'm going to double confirm that. Got to break out the electronic leak detector. It's your firm and prime use. I will break out the UV dye because somebody put it in here, even though I know the guy who steam cleans these systems, he steam cleans everywhere. I don't find any oil residue when I'm looking up inside on the fins. There's no dirt, road grime or nothing, even on the condenser fins there. He did a really good job of cleaning. Maybe I got lucky and I could see under the compressor it's dirty. Look how clean that compressor is. You can eat off that compressor, it's so clean. If I had failing gaskets up there at the top manifold where the hoses go in, there's no evidence. He literally cleaned it so good. I can't find any. If the front shaft seal was leaking and it was throwing a splooge of oil all over the place, there's no trace on the side of the frame rail or anything. Yep, he did a really good job of cleaning. That makes my job harder. Look at that receiver dryer. I mean, it looks brand new, but it's just clean. Okay, so my job is harder because the guy who steam cleans does such a good job. We'll get back to this one. I'll empty it out, recharge it, see if I can find leaks, and we'll go from there. But this is a beautiful car. I mean, look at the paint job on this thing. This thing is immaculate. Let's see the interior. 1980. 53,000 miles. Interior is immaculate. Yeah, this is the kind of car you want if you want one of these old Mercedes. This guy here who sells these Mercedes, he always finds cars like this. He searches the whole entire country for just these excellent buys on cars. All right, let's get back to this one after I finish my job.